So I guess since we're going to talk about FNAF World in this, I'll have you go first because my first question is, well, here. Do you want to start it off, like, because I have my notes here. Okay, so I want to actually bring up something real quick. So when you made a video or a YouTube short called "What's the Best RPG?" Do you remember that short?
Oh fuck! I forgot that I made that.
Yeah. It was titled like you.
I plead the. I don't know what I was. But
well,
please excuse me. I don't know what I was thinking.
Your Honor, they didn't know. Well, I want to actually bring this up because this is actually a good point you made. Was you? Well, it wasn't really like a good point, but you brought up other RPGs. Have you played any other RPG other than FNAF World? Like.
Yes, actually.
Okay, can you name...
Once again, I don't know what I was thinking when I made that.
Yeah. I just want to know what RPGs you've played before, like, other than FNAF World.
Undertale and Pokemon X.
Hold on. So you played Pokemon X and Undertale.
Are you taking notes?
Yes. Because I'm going to be going back to that.
Okay.
If you can't tell, I took drama and speech and debate for 4 years of my life.
This isn't a court case.
This isn't a court case. I'm not saying this is a court case. I'm just saying I
started off by not defending the game.
Oh, I know that you said you weren't going to defend the game, but okay, hold on. Let me bring this up. So you played Pokemon X and Undertale. How far did you get on those games, by the way? Did you beat Undertale, like all 3 routes, or just 2 routes, the 2 main routes?
Yeah, yes.
I'm going to put that down as you 100%ed then. Did you play, how long did you play Pokemon X? Did you beat it, or did you just only get to a certain point?
I did.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so, out of Undertale and Pokemon, you know, what, like, do you think Pokemon X is a necessarily good Pokemon game?
I mean, I haven't played the other Pokemon games, so I don't have a frame of reference, but Pokemon X is way too fucking easy.
That's valid. Well, like, is it easy because, like, you can get to the point where, like, okay, so by easy definition,
it's easy because all of your Pokemon get EXP when you win a fight.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what other game does that though?
FNAF World.
Yeah. Like, I'll even say it like this: FNAF World, like the first FNAF World, or like the first version of FNAF World. You know what? Hold on. I'm trying to think, like, how can we start this? Because I asked you what 2 RPGs. Do you think that Pokemon, like, Pokemon X and Y looks good?
No.
You don't think it looks good?
Not at all. Have you seen the way it looks? It looks like shit.
I'm looking at it right now, actually. Okay. Do you remember any places for Pokemon X?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like,
And by places, I mean... I don't think I can remember most of them by title, but if you want me to describe them, I can.
No, you don't have... but you remember the locations, is what I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember your main party? Like, do you remember the parties that you used? Like, what certain Pokemons and stuff? You remember them?
Yes. Yes, on my first playthrough at least. I have started a second playthrough recently under the name Roxanne because I wanted to have that as a name in a game. But I'm just like, I can't finish this game. This is boring.
To be fair, that's how most Pokemon's game are to me. But we're not talking about Pokemon. If I wanted to debate Pokemon, we'd have Erica in the
No,
call.
okay. If you want to know what my team was, it was a Greninja, a Blastoise, a Lucario, Xerneas, Mewtwo, and Moltres.
All right. Okay, I made sure to.
See, I do actually remember what my team was.
Do you remember any certain characters from the game?
Yes. Okay. Do you want to? Okay. Have you ever watched? What's his fucking name? It's that guy who makes like really short. Well, I mean, now he makes like trying every flavor of a certain food videos. But there were some videos a guy made where he had a twist villain parody, and it was like, what? And the character was like, this world is impure. I wish I could erase it all and make it as beautiful as me. And then later in the thing, like, the characters go, Lysanderov, you were behind this the whole time? The villain in Pokemon X is exactly like that, and his name is Lysander. I'm not... Okay, you might think that's an exaggeration from watching that video, but no, he's just actually like that. He's like... He walks up to a movie star, and he's like... Don't you wish that you could stay young and beautiful forever? And she was like, no, I kind of look forward to trying out new roles.
Yeah. Well,
like it's kind of funny how like unsubtle it is.
Well, I'm going to bring this up since we're talking about FNAF World. Okay, so you remember the main cast of characters, like you remember the locations and you remember your own team members, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember?
Okay, to be fair, if you're gonna make a team members argument, I don't even really think that's fair in the case of FNAF World, since the team members are just from other better games.
I was gonna say FNAF World really wouldn't get that either, because FNAF World you can literally be like, Toy Bonnie or shit.
You want to know what the team in FNAF World is? You want to know what the team in FNAF World is if you're gonna play it? It's just gonna be the last 8 characters on the menu.
Mm-hmm. Which is a huge problem, right? Wouldn't you agree? Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, here actually, since you kept your team the entire way through Pokemon and you beat it, like you beat Pokemon X, right?
I mean, my team didn't stay the same the entire way through, but once I got a character, I didn't really change them out.
Yeah, like you kept using your one character, so you bonded with them more. And I think like that's what made Pokemon. I had the Greninja and Lucario for almost my entire life. Yeah, exactly. And you bonded with them, and they were powerful, and that you wanted to keep them around.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they leveled up with you throughout the entire game. Now, I'm going to bring up Undertale real quick, since I know Undertale isn't really the traditional RPG archetype because of the level up system and all that stuff.
If you want to talk about the characters, that's where it excels.
Yeah, you remember the characters. You remember the
absolutely.
You remember the cast of characters, and you definitely.
Dude, not just the main characters. I fucking remember like Onion Sand and the guy that throws ice into the river,
and the popsicle stand guy, as well, and the rock characters, the rock characters at the fucking house in Snowden. Do you remember the location? You obviously probably remember the location of Undertale.
The rock that misunderstands your instructions when you tell him to stand on a button.
Yeah, exactly. See, you remember it. You remember the locations too, don't you? Like the palace, Snowden. Yeah, Waterfall, and then Hotland. The barrier. I mean, like
the core.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. The core, not the barrier. Well, you go to the barrier at one point, but. You remember those areas. You remember...
Flowey's world?
Fucking...
Which is just the void before his boss fight.
Yeah. And you obviously remember the final boss, too. Do you even remember the name of the main villain of Undertale? I'm guessing you do. It was Flowey, but...
Here's... I mean, that depends. It doesn't... I mean, technically speaking, depending on how you play the game, the player can be the main villain.
Would you say that the story's unique?
I mean, yeah, because everything that happens completely changes depending on what you do. Because so even if none of the stories themselves are particularly unique, even though they are pretty memorable and the characters themselves are unique, even if the base outline of the story isn't particularly unique, the not only does the way the game not only is the execution very unique, but also just the fact that you can make choices however you want to at any point makes the whole game just a completely different thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, well, see, you even remember, like, all that. Like, because it's, you know, alright, so, do you remember the main story of Pokemon X, by the way?
Yeah, the main story is basically just, your guy moves to a new town, you and your neighbors were chosen by the professor to help research Pokemon, so you travel the region, and then you run into terrorists and have to stop them.
Mm. So, okay. Can I ask you, alright, so now since we talked about this, since we talked about 2 other RPGs, and I was actually going to bring up some RPGs I've played recently, like Dark Souls 3 and all that kind of stuff. Don't say anything about that. But, you know, because I've played Dark Souls 3, I've played Earthbound.
Is there any other RPG that I've played?
You played Earthbound?
I've played a little bit of Earthbound. I don't own the game. It was at, like, an event at my school where they had, like, an SNES. So...
Like
I mean, I didn't get to play that much of it, but what I did get to play was fun.
Did you play any of the Elder Scrolls Fallout games by chance? Those are RPGs.
No.
Okay. I'm just listing off RPGs I'm thinking of off the top of my head. Dragon Age, Witcher, as I said, Dark Souls. I don't think you played Dark Souls.
I'm just gonna look up a list of RPGs and see if I know it.
Well, that you've played. You don't have to like look up. But okay, so.
Yeah, that I've played.
Yeah, because I mean, you can say like, oh, I watched someone play Dark Souls, and I think Dark Souls is like the best game. I mean, I watched someone play Dark Souls, and I like what I've seen of it, but I can't give an opinion on it because I haven't beat it. But okay, so since we're talking about this, I want to, since I brought up all these RPGs, all right, since we brought up Pokemon and Undertale. Which, I don't think you could have picked any better RPGs to talk about, to compare to.
Well, I mean, Undertale excels at everything.
Sometimes it does. There's a few problems I have with Undertale, but other than that, like, the small problem I had with it, but I'll talk about that later. I could talk about it in another video or something. But, okay. So, let's talk about FNAF World, since that's what this main thing's about. I'm going to just repeat the questions I asked you. Okay? What's the main story of What's the main story of FNAF World?
The main story of FNAF World is that there's something going on in this world that's bad. We don't really elaborate on what it is. It's just go look around, I guess. Find ways to get to new areas, get new characters, replace your old characters because the new characters are more strong than the old ones can ever be, even at maximum level.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess you fight Scott Cawthon, and then there's like a secret area you can go to, play some mini games which are honestly more fun than the actual game, and unlock some more characters that are way overpowered, like a level 1 version of them to beat the game. And then you fight a really annoying boss who just shows up and is like, "Hey, it's me, Jimmy Neutron!" By the way, that's not a joke, that's the story.
Yeah, I heard that. Okay. Would you say that this is accurate? Bare bones stories with no stake.
Basically, the story of FNAF World is a complete afterthought and a total mess.
Okay. I would even agree with that. Okay. Let me ask you this then. What's so fun about the gameplay? Now here, think about it like this. We won't compare it to Undertale, but in Pokemon, you get 4 moves specifically, including a heal option. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, let me actually look at a battle sheet real quick. You can. Okay, so unlike in Pokemon X and Y, let me see if I got this right. You can fight. You can go back into your bag and get out a Pokemon. You can get into your bag and get a item, or you can run away. Am I correct? And you can also do team battles in this game. Am I correct? Roxy?
Sorry. Sorry. Can you say that again?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you that well.
Yeah, you're good. So in Pokemon, you got your options for combat is fight, which could.
Are you referring to the fact that you have a lot of options in addition to being able to customize the moveset of every character?
Yeah, in Pokemon, yes. Am I correct about that?
Yes.
Yeah. In FNAF World, every character is locked to a single weapon. Or a single attack. Making it to where you could have, like, your favorite animatronic in the game, but they're completely dog shit, and you got them too late in the game to where they actually do any impact. Like, for example, Withered Bonnie. Like, Withered Bonnie's only good because it has Unscrew too. But then you get into later games where literally you don't even really need Unscrew anymore. Or you don't even, like, everything else just outbalances Withered Bonnie. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So, FNAF World's gameplay is extremely just, like, even like this.
Linear. It's linear.
Way too linear, I'd even say.
And given like the Scott Cawthon boss fight, even the things you can customize, like the chips and bites from Wallbit, some of those things you have to be forced to use as well, so that Scott Cawthon can't just launch a wall at you and kill you instantly.
Yeah.
And then also in the on Fate 2, you're forced to use there are 2 characters you're forced to use, being Nightmarian and Nightmare BB, because of the fact that they decided, hey, let's make a tunnel with, like, toxic air that drains your health. There are only 2 characters. You can counter it, and also just, like, why? Like, actually, why? Why would you ever design something like that? Especially since you can't even choose which character is going to get to use one of their moves at any point. It's just completely random.
I even asked this. Why in the world would you not be able to, like, why is there 50 animatronics but they only get 3 moves each? Most of them also just being random luck items.
Because there aren't because Scott Cawthon didn't think of enough attacks, probably.
Well, yeah, that's even, like, gonna just further my next point. The attacks, a lot of them are just this attack, but way better. Like...
Well, okay, it's literally... yeah, I know, it's just attack and then attack. Like, the attacks literally have sequels.
Yeah.
Huh?
Exactly. Have you played, I know you said that you only played these 2 RPGs, but, have you ever played an RPG where, like, okay, so the game, let's go back to the gameplay. Let's go back just to the gameplay. Real quick, just to finish off what I have to write. Do you think that the bites are broken? The chips and bites?
If I remember correctly... Wait, actually, let me look up what they are again. Just
the chips...
By the way, the fact that I can't remember what they are, other than the first aid and the wasps and the UFO, that's going to prove your point.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay, let me think. What are the bites off the top of my head? So you have the wasps. You have the first aids. You have the Grim Reaper, I think, was one of them.
Yes, the
a bomb.
Yes.
A bomb.
Yeah.
Also one.
I'll tell you if you got them right, because
UFOs.
There's also the weird point ones. I forgot what they're called specifically.
Oh, the targets.
Yeah, the targets. The targets. And then the chips. Do you know what chips there are in the game? Like, you don't have to name all of them. You can just name some of them.
There are, like, ones that automatically do some moves, one like a shield or pizza roll. There are ones that make you start off with certain stat upgrades.
That's correct.
There's one spawns a mimic, which will automatically copy any move that's done.
Yeah. And then there's one for your party. Like the one that you can use to find your party chips, like the parties that you need.
Yeah, aren't there ones that make like party members appear more often in fights?
Yeah, there's only one of those, and it barely works half the time. So, would you say that they're kind of a useless addition to the game? Because
not useless, not useless, but they aren't that interesting.
Yeah,
because some of them are just directly, like, flat out better than others. You want to know what you're going to do at a certain point? You're just going to have the mimic and the shield equipped. Like, just by default.
And that also makes other party members way more useless.
Okay, the best party member in the game is probably Funtime Foxy, if I remember correctly.
Funtime Foxy or Spring Bonnie. Those are the two I remember using the most.
I don't even remember what Spring Bonnie does because he's so rare.
I
don't think I ever got him, actually. Because of how rare some of these party members are. They just, like... They have such a small chance of showing up, even with the thing that makes party members appear more often. You might as well not even bother trying to get them.
Unless you're going for 100%.
Here's the thing. Just get somebody with gift boxes, and then just take the Update 2 characters.
Mm-hmm. I mean...
It's incredibly unbalanced.
The game is incredibly unbalanced. Like, I would even say FNAF World is, like, the most unbalanced video game I have ever played. And, like, not counting RTSs or not RTSs, what is it called? FPS games, like, you know, Call of Duty or something like that, where it's like, certain guns are just stronger than others for obvious reasons, like a shotgun, it takes longer to reload and stuff. But, like, I'm meaning more of, like, if you look at an RPG like that. Okay, so question. What do you think of the game visually?
It looks like a shit.
Hold on. Let me type this down.
You wanna know FNAF? You wanna know FNAF World's main contribution to the franchise? It's Lolbit.
Yeah.
I like Lolbit.
I would say Lolbit would have been so much better if they just appeared in Sister Location first than FNAF World, because...
Well, Lolbit is in Sister Location.
I know, but I mean, like, I wish that was just their first debut of the game, of them. You know, not this game, because... This game is, like, horrible when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because, like, because, like, Lolbit is only memorable because you have to see her so much. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, her design is cool and all, but, like, you see her only because...
Well, it's funny because there are, like, three NPCs other than Fredbear, who just tells you shit. There are three NPCs, which are, like, Yendo, who gives you armor that you have to grind for because it's really expensive. DD, who has, like, a fishing minigame.
Yes, that's correct.
And then Lolbit. And Lolbit is the only one who gets any attention because of the fact that she reappears multiple times throughout the game. Like, she actually has an evolving shop.
Yeah, like, you see her... I think one of my biggest issues with Lolbit is the fact that she's the only shopkeeper. Like, Dee Dee doesn't sell you shit, you don't see Yendo go anywhere, and, like, that's another thing. You always have to, like, unlike a game like actually, just to bring an apt comparison, Dark Souls, you always have to go back to a certain area to level up. But if you're always by a bonfire, it's not that big of a deal because you can just immediately just teleport there. But with FNAF World, like, if you're deep in a cave and you're like, ah, shit, I need to get a certain item for this boss, you can't just immediately travel back near the cave. You have to find the cave again, go all the way back through, like, you're in the cave, then you have to go, like, you have to press the 1 key just to go right back to finding Lolbit. And then, I'm trying to remember, like, you go find Lolbit.
It's weird, especially because you literally have an entire map.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. What if you could just teleport to any room you wanted to, even if, I don't know.
Well, see, here's the issue, and most...
Also,
go ahead.
Also, what I find really weird, here's something that really gets on my nerves, though, is those stupid-ass things where you, like, have to walk into a wall for a couple of seconds, and then it just makes you enter some sort of other dimension with invisible walls that allows you to walk over shit, just so you can get one or two items that are otherwise inaccessible. Why?
Also, actually, you know what? You just made me remember something. The fucking underground sections are fucking garbage.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you can't see.
Yeah, it hurts your eyes after a while, especially if you're playing in the dark. It really hurts your eyes. Like, I thought I was being a little pussy, but I actually heard other people complain about it.
Those parts where you go deeper into the code, there's nothing interesting going on with them. It's just a maze with bad visuals.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even fight anybody while you're in there.
Yeah, no, that was like a thing that, like, many people brought up with, like, well, at least you don't have to fight anybody in there. And it's like, that's not a compliment.
Okay, especially it's especially bad because you move slower as the deeper you go in.
Yeah, and then, like, if you make one mistake and you go to the wrong area, you won't know until you're, like, unless you're looking at a guide. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, especially because at a certain point, the things you have to walk into look so much like everything else with the bad visuals and such, and some of them are behind walls that you can just go through.
Yeah, like, why? Why is it shit you have to go through? Like, I mean...
Why is it in the game? Why not just have a teleporter that takes you to another area?
Mm-hmm. That's why FNAF...
Did Scott Cawthon just really want to make Old Man Consequences a character for some reason?
I guess.
Because if you wanted to make Old Man Consequences a character, how about instead just have, like, a part of the map where Fredbear says, hey, this part of the map is dangerous, the code is really weak here, and if you find, like, some glitched out item, it just...
Yeah, because all they tell you is, don't go down too deep. Yeah, all they tell you is, the deeper you go into the code, like, if you go too deep, you're fucked. Like, that's all they tell you, and that's not enough... I feel like that's never enough information, because if you just tell me, don't go down here, or you're, like, in a lot of trouble, like, that's all you tell me, like, I mean, I don't think that's enough.
Hey, here's an idea, how about instead of, here's an idea, since apparently you just get trapped there, why not just say, hey, nobody who's done this has never come back.
Yeah. But then again, like, a lot of people would say, oh, well, that's just normal dungeon talk of, like, oh, you don't go alone, you know, and it's like, yeah, but, like, sometimes that's just enough, you know, like, that's all you need. You don't need a deep, convoluted conversation about how, like, you don't need a whole deep, convoluted story to be like, oh, don't go there alone, you know, like, you get it, but it's also like, you know, yeah, everybody gets it. But it's just so stupid. Like, I just...
Okay, let's see, what else? The most memorable part of the game, by far, are the update to minigames.
Okay, so actually, yeah, let's talk about this, because I actually have my own problems with those. So let's bring up let's negate the fact that they put in a different style of game into an RPG. Multiple RPGs do that, from what I've learned.
Okay, it's kind of like Crash Bandicoot 3, where it has like one style of gameplay, like the main style of gameplay, and then it has like a bunch of other things for like no reason.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things I wanted to bring up about FNAF World was the fact that believe it or not, so in my original FNAF World video.
It's funny because in an RPG, the best parts of the game are the part where you're not doing an RPG.
Yeah.
And by best parts of the game, I mean Foxy Fighters and nothing else, because the other minigames aren't fun anyway.
I mean, yeah, like even you said, like there's nothing fun other than Foxy Fighters, which I would even say Freddy in Space can be fun, but it's like, if I wanted to play any of these games, like...
There's nothing fun other than Foxy Fighters, which is just a worse version of Cuphead.
Yeah, like the airship levels. Like, I agree with you on that, because like... oh my god. One of the biggest issues that FNAF World has is the fact that it doesn't feel, I guess, consistent. Like, it never feels consistent of, like, the quality you get. Because, like, okay, you got Foxy Fighters, which is a cool idea in concept, you know? And then you got fucking Chica's Magic Rainbow Friends. And a lot of people say, like, the reason why I don't like it is because it's supposed to make you mad. And I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to piss you off, but that does not mean it's a good game, in my opinion. Like, just because it's trying to piss you off doesn't mean, like, it's doing a good job. Because Dark Souls is supposed to make you die, and it does, but, like, you never feel like it's your fault. Mega Man is supposed to be hard, but Mega Man is just one of those games where it's, like, sometimes it's really not your, like, it's not always your fault, but you at the very least know what you need to do from now on. You know what I mean? Like, if there's trial and error bullshit all the time. And that game has an excuse as an NES game, but it's so dumb hearing people try to defend Chica's Magic Rainbow, even though, like, I think the main thing that gets on my nerves is the rainbow. And then the fact that she comes back as, wow, she was actually the one behind the slaughter. You know, it's like, oh, God. Now I gotta hear this again. Like, I gotta hear her go, oh, I'm gonna kill you!
You know what that would be like? That would be like if that'd be like in Star Wars if Anakin killed Palpatine in Episode 6, and then the spy from Episode 4, like the elephant looking guy, shows up and is like, I was the real mastermind this whole time.
or Jar Jar Binks comes in and he's like, I was actually the one behind it all. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, Jar Jar Binks, but I was just sticking within the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Since the prequels weren't made yet.
Yeah, I know. But it's like if, like, under the mask they just show it was Jar Jar Binks under the mask or something. I mean, it's like if you were playing like a game like Cuphead, or not Cuphead, sorry, Mega Man, and then they were like, what was it?
No, because the difference is that in Cuphead, if King Dice was the final boss instead of the devil, like if you defeated the devil and then King Dice showed up and was like, hey, I'm gonna fight you now. Honestly, that would be fine, because even though he wasn't the main villain up until that point, he was still the right-hand man. Like, he was still a big character.
Yeah.
And honestly, King Dice has more of a presence within the game than the devil himself, so, you know.
I guess that's fair. I was gonna bring up Dr. Wily. It's like if they showed off Dr. Cossack in Mega Man 4, and then they were like, oh, actually, it was Dr. Wily the entire time. Wait a minute. No, I'm kidding. Don't worry, I will rant about that in the video, in my Mega Man 4 video, whenever that comes out. Hopefully when this discussion comes out.
At least Mega Man 4 has the thing that Wily was never killed in Mega Man 3. Like, you saw that he escaped.
Yeah, you at least seen that he lived.
Like Mega Man 4 was forced to play with
3
knowledge that Wily was still alive.
Yeah. And then, like, but, like, the thing is, like, that's update 2. And then, like, also, another thing, one of the mini-games is literally just, woo, Foxy.exe, ooh, are you guys scared? No. Nobody's scared. It's like, no, you ain't scaring anybody. You know, like, It's not that scary.
Sorry, can you say that again? I did not understand any of what you just said.
Foxy.exe. You know, the game where... The mini game.
That one's just boring. That one's just boring.
Yeah, it is.
Just walk right until you see something and then turn around.
And then go the other way.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
Turn the other cheek.
Yeah, and then there's okay, so Foxy.exe is boring. Also, isn't it weird that there's 2 Foxy minigames? There's...
I think it's just because Foxy's the most popular character.
Yeah, but I mean, I still find it weird. I always thought it was Freddy. Freddy had Freddy in Space, Chica...
Dude, Bonnie doesn't even have a minigame.
I mean, I guess you could say Foxy.exe was his minigame. But even then, it's not titled after him. You do play as him, but it's not titled after him at all. It's still...
It could have been any other character.
Yeah.
It could have been any other character.
Yeah, it really wouldn't. And, okay, now let's talk about the characters you unlock being completely fucking broken, and that if you just play Update 2 and just go through the entire game, you basically just win.
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
I'm pretty sure I said that first, actually.
Oh, did you? My bad. I didn't mean to try to take your point.
I'm pretty sure I said that earlier.
Nah, it's just so dumb. Okay, I'm going to take a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Chasing the love of the humans who made you feel wanted. You try to be tough, but your armor's just not hard enough. Maui,
alright,
it's time to kick your hiney. Never seen someone so shiny. So get in, cause it's the last you'll ever see. Vela mia, I'm so shiny. Now I eat you, so prepare your final plea. Just for me, you'll never be quite as shiny. You'll wish you were nice and shiny. Okay, FNAF World, let's go.
Okay, I was about to say, are we going to talk about FNAF World, or are we just going to start singing Moana songs? I guess...
What can I say? Except you're welcome.
God, I was kidding! Okay, so one last thing I guess we can say about FNAF World, and then we can... I do actually want to know, would you want to do a discussion on Mega Man?
Sure.
It's up to you. I mean, it wouldn't be the same video.
We can do a discussion on...
I was going to say...
We can do a discussion on Mega Man.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because I was like, well, I mean, me and you both play Mega Man. But, okay, anyway, so back to FNAF World. Freddy in Space.
Okay, but I'm going to have to sing your... I bet I'm going to have to sing your welcome for the Mega Man video.
It's going to be... Hey, this one might be yours. I might just give this one to you. You be the one to upload it. Give you the audio. I will. I mean, I can't upload. I don't care. It's just more of it's up to you.
That's fine. I can't record my own footage for FNAF World because my computer started thinking it was a virus and wouldn't let me play it.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm gonna upload this one. I mean, don't get me wrong. This one's gonna be uploaded on my channel. Cause I mean, I am the guy who made the 50-minute long FNAF World video. But
oh yeah, I should watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
can you send it to me again.
Yeah. Here you go. Hold on. Let me pull it back up. It's actually fun. Actually, I think I posted it in your Discord server.
Cool.
Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, FNAF Zone right here. It was literally just the first thing I typed was "fuck FNAF World." That is all. Here you go. And then someone just responded, "Someone didn't like the mini game." Yeah, no shit. But I don't even go over... I don't think I go over the DLC 2 in it, because my reasoning for why I didn't was because I didn't think I really necessarily had to. I was mostly just talking about the RPG elements, not the other elements. Which, if I ever decide to do a video where I go against people, or not go against people, but if I ever really want to make a sequel to that video titled What I Would Do to Fix FNAF World, I would probably talk about Update 2. Honestly, okay, here's the thing though. FNAF World could have worked. It just had to fix a lot of issues. But that was kind of the problem. There were just too many issues. You know what I mean? But that's the issue with FNAF World. There's just way too many issues. Oh. Like,
yeah.
And I wish, if I could go over my FNAF World video for a minute, if you don't mind, I wish I talked more about the RPG elements. I do talk about them. It's like the bosses. Okay, like, actually, you know what? Let's talk about this. Do you remember any bosses in FNAF World?
I remember the snowman, the wood chipper, Seagoon.
Do you remember?
Well.
Okay, you remember Seagoon's name.
Bubba, there was that, what was his name?
Pork Patch.
Okay, there's Purple Geist who gets killed by Chica's Magic Rainbow. Then there's Adam Dude.
Anim Dude, yeah. Who's also a character.
That giant eye in the caves.
Eyesore, yes. The reason why I remember them is because I had to make the video on them, and I kept looking at their names a lot.
The security owl.
Correct.
Brow Boy. What was his name? Pork Patch, I think? The giant pig?
Yeah, Pork Patch. That was his name. Indubitably, that was his name.
Wasn't there like some sort of like... There was some other guy in the cave. He was like... some sort of... I think I remember him being some sort of like scarecrow type thing. But I don't remember. I remember him being a scarecrow, but I don't think he was actually a scarecrow. I might have to look this one up. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, go right ahead. Only reason why I brought it up. Do you think that they're like? Do you remember anything that they've done that like made you go, "Wow, that was a great boss fight"? Was there anything like that in the game?
No, in fact, the opposite. Every unique mechanic for any of these boss fights just pissed me off.
There was no unique mechanic though. You just beat them. That's all it was.
No, I mean for like this for like the security owl with that thing of you needing the wall, and Adam Dude with him shooting a wall at you, and Chica's Magic Rainbow where you're on a timer.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those sucked. Like, I agree with that 100% full send. Like, I mean...
Oh yeah, how can I forget the Scott Coffin Mother Brain boss fight? I'm sorry.
Yeah, which isn't really a boss fight, it's more just DLC content. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I wouldn't really...
I was making it... I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I thought you were meaning, like... Because I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I would have kind of counted it, I guess, but I don't know. Because, like, it's not really a boss. It's just additional content. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It wasn't, like, an RPG boss. Which, speaking of which, most of the bosses that are in the main game RPG, they're not fun. Like, I don't remember...
The bosses in the main game only vary by how long they take to kill and how quickly they kill you. That's it.
Yeah, you're just pushing them with bigger numbers. That's what it is. Unlike in a game like Dark Souls, you could beat a boss with literally wearing no armor, or you could beat a boss by, like, fucking wearing all the in-game armor, and it'd still probably take you the same amount of time. Because it's mostly about how fast are you, how good are you at, like, doing damage, that kind of stuff. And I'm not trying to, like, glaze Dark Souls over here, by the way. I hope you know that. I'm just saying, like, that's just a point of contention, because Dark Souls came out in, like, the first Dark Souls came out in 2011, with Demon Souls coming out, like, 2009, I think? And then FNAF World released 1 month. Or not 1 month. Actually, when did Dark Souls 3 come out? I'll look it up real quick. Actually, why am I just using my phone? I can just use my computer. I think it was March. When did Dark Souls 3 come out? Dark Souls 3 came out, yeah, March 24th, 2016. And, like, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, like, Scott had to, like, make the game incredibly hard or anything. I'm just saying, because the game really isn't that hard. Like, the game's extremely easy for an RPG. You know what I mean? Like, I only...
Sorry, can you do it again?
Oh, I said FNAF World isn't really that hard.
It's more frustrating.
Yeah, it's more just gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of a gimmick than really, like what, like, many people are like, the hardest part of the game is, like, Scott. It's like, yeah, because Scott can one-hit you if you don't have a certain wall or anything equipped like that. Or...
The hardest part of the game is the rainbow, because it just insta-kills you if you don't kill it fast enough.
Mm-hmm. Like... No, don't hug me. Okay, sorry. I just think it's one of those things that where I'm like, I don't really care for, like, how FNAF World... Like, okay, so what makes FNAF World a good game? Like, think about it. What makes FNAF World a good game?
Not really anything. It's just a matter of whether or not you have a tolerance for that sort of thing.
Yeah, like... Okay, so let's discuss here. Would you say FNAF World's an F-tier video game?
Is it what video game?
F-tier video game.
I don't think I could say that. Like, I think, like, from an objective quality perspective, yes. But from, like, the case of, I guess, my own personal opinion, I would put it slightly higher.
Like D tier? Because I know, like, on our own personal tier list, we put it low. Like, we put it low than, like... I would say Sister Location is better than FNAF World. Like, I guess, like, we can think about it. Like, would we say... Because I know we had the Mega Man... Like, I recorded the one discussion where we talked about all the FNAF games and whatever. But, like, we talked about how FNAF World isn't really that good. Like, we both agree on that. FNAF World's not a good game. But, like, also, we just gotta think, like, from a time when FNAF World came out, it wasn't good for its time. Compared to other RPGs, it's completely lackluster.
Compared to the rest of the series, it's a joke.
Yeah. So what really is good and high quality about FNAF World? My opinion, nothing.
And that's why it's so fucking funny.
I mean, here, you know what? Actually, I didn't even bring this up. What do you think of the humor of FNAF World?
It's stupid.
Well, we can both agree on that. I think FNAF World's humor is fucking dog shit. Because most of the jokes is just, random thing happens, please laugh. And I don't care for that brand of humor. Like, oh, actually, we forgot to bring up the other endings. FNAF World has multiple endings. Which, a lot of it's just, do this one specific thing, bam, got ending. Beat Chipper, go too low in the...
Like the one where the universe explodes?
Yeah, because there can't be two Fredbears at the same time. That's an ending. There's a few others I'm trying to think of. I'm genuinely trying to remember all the endings, because there are multiple endings in FNAF World. And none of them are good. Like, okay, beat FNAF World on the hardest difficulty. Like, the hardest difficulty in FNAF World isn't even that hard. Like, let's be honest here. Like, FNAF World...
Oh yeah. What was up with the game's menu? The menu doesn't fucking make any sense.
Well...
Like the save file select.
Yeah, you got 3 of them. And it'll always ask, do you want to do a new game? Or load one, even if you don't have saves open. Because you know, 3 save files is not a whole lot in an RPG. Like, and I know I keep saying, well, in an RPG, in this RPG, but FNAF World's a fucking RPG. It's like, I mean, I have to bring it up. Because when there's something, like, I think you can even agree on this. If there's something better, you should point it out. Like, if there's something better than FNAF World, you should point it out. Like,
why was it paid when first released?
I couldn't tell you. Like, I genuinely could not tell you why it was... You had to pay $10 for it. Which, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, but it's not that bad. But there's, like, other games that if you just save a little bit more money, you get more enjoyment out of it. You know, like, you get more enjoyment out of other games that are either cheaper or just a little bit more expensive. Or, hell, even just same price. Like, that's one thing I always bring up is just... FNAF World, like, isn't worth $10, which now it's free. You know, FNAF World's like, it's on Game Jolt. Like, I played have you seen the original version of FNAF World?
Yeah, where the map looks like one of the mini games.
Yeah, it looks like shit, if I'm being honest. Like, because I go...
Why? The trailer makes it look different.
Yeah. Maybe there was like an idea where you could switch between them. Like, you could switch between which version you wanted. Which, I don't know why in the world you would want to play that version. Where it looks like a fucking PS2 game. Or not a PS2 game, sorry. It looks like a fucking, like, it looks like barcode scans. Like, that's what I always said. It looked like barcode scans.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Save point. Shit, I should have recorded that. But anyways. Yeah, I don't know, man. Fucking FNAF World has so many fucking problems. And, like, so many people defend FNAF World now. It's like... It's kind of like my opinion on Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 is a piece of shit Call of Duty game. But, like, everybody's like, the good old days. Back when, you know, and it's like, the good old days, this game fucking reeks! Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I hate FNAF World so much. It ruined FNAF for me. Like, I mean, I know, like, a lot of people would be like, oh, okay, sure. But, like, think about it. It's a bad RPG. No characters are unique to it. The gameplay sucks. The characters are non-existent. The world looks like shit. Everything looks like shit. The only good thing I can say about FNAF World is that at the very least... Like, oh, and another thing, it tries to act canon, but it's not. It's not even canon. Like, but they try, because, like, even Scott said in an interview that he tried mingling it into the lore, which I know now he says is not really canon. But, like, he said, actually, I have his quote, hold on. Let me read the quote. Yeah. This is from Scott, just you know, just because I wanted to go and get that out front, just because I had a reason of making it, doesn't mean it was a good idea. But even one part of it was just that. I mean, you know, there only so much you can let your mind focus on murders and tragedies and stuff like that. But more, but you kind of start cracking, even if it's the stories you're making up. There's only so much human suffering that the human mind can make up. What people were expecting, there was one thing expecting that what I was wanting to do, I think okay, sorry, I think I'm reading the wrong quote, but there's a quote where he said that he should have just tried making it a fucking troll game and not a, full-fledged video game. Which, I agree, if this was a troll game, fucking one, damn, that's a funny-ass troll. But two, I mean, I think FNAF World would have went on to be such a better game if it was just a troll game. Like, or at the very least, it'll be way more respected. Like, I don't think FNAF World would have been nearly as hated if it was like, this isn't canon, this is just a silly little game. But a lot of people said, like, that's when FNAF World, like, FNAF died. But now people are, like, being kinder to it. You know where Dawko actually put this on his tier list? If I remember correctly, he put it in A tier.
Have you seen my older video from, like...
Yeah.
I think it was last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you put FNAF World, like, really high up, and I was like, no. No, that ain't true. FNAF 2 and UCN were both better than that. It was so low on the list. I was so mad. I was like, this is so wrong. They done my boy so dirty. I mean, I get why people would say FNAF 2 isn't as good as all the other ones. But I don't think FNAF 2 should be, like, completely hated on. I like FNAF World. I like, you know... Or not, I don't like FNAF World. Remove that. I like FNAF 2, and I think FNAF 2 is a good video game. I just think that, like, a lot of people think FNAF 2 is bad because now we had other FNAF games that are completely different, you know what I mean? Like, and I get it. I mean, FNAF 2 doesn't age the best, but I think it aged better than, like, say, fucking FNAF 3, or, hell, even to an extent, other FNAF games. Oh, shit, that takes me back out there. Oh, okay, there's 2 areas. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think FNAF World, or at the very least, FNAF as a whole legacy could still be reminded of if FNAF World didn't exist. I think it ruined a lot of people's perception of FNAF of just being a kid's game. You know?
Was FNAF World the reason Scott made Sister Location?
I think so, to be honest.
Because Scott Cawthon has admitted that, like, he made FNAF 4 because he didn't think 3 was scary enough. Like, he wants to end things on a high note, and he learns from his mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, not in the case of FNAF World, but, like, what Scott Cawthon usually does is take what he's bad at and use that as an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree.
And I guess he tried to make the sort of games he used to make with FNAF World, and then everybody was like, yeah, no, why the fuck would you do this?
Well, the main reason I hear is, like, you can't blame Scott for wanting to do something different after making 4 games in a row that are the exact same. And I'm like, well, okay, you know, actually, here's a great Dark Souls. Like, no, like, they're meaning horror. And I'm like, you know what? There's another game director who did something like that. And you want to know what their name is? Miyazaki, the creator of Dark Souls. I know, another Dark Souls reference. I'm so fucking clever. But he made Dark Souls 1 through 3 and Demon Souls. You want to know what game he made after that? Mind you, those were mostly RPGs. You want to know what game he made after that? He made Bloodborne. He made Bloodborne. Which is a totally different style game than the others, because it's not an RPG, it's an action game. Which many people will be like, kinda the same thing. No, they are 2 different style games. Like, you can't level up your characters and you can't level up Wolf and Sekiro. Did I say Sekiro? Did I say Sekiro? I felt like I said another game. He made Bloodborne, and Bloodborne was kinda different. Oh my god, I gotta get my souls back. I gotta get SpongeBob back! Leave me alone! Sorry, I'm kinda grinding on Dark Souls, as you can tell, and I'm trying to run away. Well, it's been my cozy game for a little bit. Anyways, do you have anything else you want to say about Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, any of the... Or not... Oh my god, FNAF World, sorry. I'm so fucking Soulsborne right now. I'm Soulsborne brain right now.
Lolbit's a smash. That's my final statement.
You think Lolbit's hot, do ya?
Well, obviously, just look at her.
those white beady eyes staring at you from the fucking darkness. Just... It's like, smash. Where in the world did you go? Ooh. Okay, don't make me fall off, please. But yeah, no, I still stand by my opinion that FNAF World ruined FNAF for me. Like, because, like, I would obviously go back to, like, play the other games that I haven't played. Which, Tester Location sucks. FNAF, trying to remember all the FNAF games. Trying to remember all of them.
Pizzeria Simulator?
Yeah, Pizzeria Simulator I didn't try. I actually got back into the series with UCN, then I left the series again. Because I was like, the series was over. I was like, guys, we did it. FNAF done. FNAF World still sucks. It's the worst game. Back then, I would say FNAF World was the worst game out of every FNAF game at the time. And then Security Breach came out, and I was like, oh no. Oh, well, okay. Well, that game's worse.
You want to talk about Security Breach?
Honestly, do you want to do a discussion on Security Breach? Since I actually played more of it? Yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well, that's it for this discussion. See you guys next week.
Guys, my closing statement for Security Breach, all four of the Glam Rocks are smashed.